Hello everyone, it's Caribbean E and Tina.
Hello.
Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's just having a wonderful day and that your day is going good as ours and that you are in the best of health.
Yes, with health being most important, as always. This video is going to be about retirement because normally you do a retirement perspective midweek. But we're going to think outside of our traditional retirement video that you do.
Absolutely.
We're going to get a little bit more in depth and we're going to talk about how the retirement may not be what you think a month money-wise. So, getting into that, because I always say knowledge is power.
Right.
Let's tackle that subject. We had, and this was all sparked by a couple of viewers that had reached out to you through WhatsApp and are kind of trying to figure out or navigate their retirement situation, and they're thinking they're getting one number and then they end up with another number when they go in to talk to their either union representative or their retirement financial planner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So everyone gets that nice little update in the mail like you did from the union, telling you, oh, you know, this is how much you've accumulated. This is how much over the years that you've paid into your retirement. It's a running total. It is not and cannot be calculated how you would think per month. Every different company has its own calculations, and then they're able to tell you, well, this is the actual amount that you're going to be getting a month. Because, I mean, let's face it, you could die right away or you could live forever. Who knows?
Right,
so they have a calculation on what they worth, what they work into, knowing what you've contributed, maybe what your employer has contributed or not, and then what you'll be getting per month. So your union sent you a letter. It said an amount. You were thinking, oh, I just divide that by 12 and that's how much I'm going to get. Wow, that's more money than I'm getting now, you know, while I work. And I was like, let me stop you right there. No one would pay you more a month when you're unemployed, meaning retired, than when you're working. If that's true, everybody would be on retirement and no one would want to work.
Right, absolutely.
So you gotta be a little realistic and know that you're gonna at least make less than or equal to, if you're super lucky, what you were making when you were working. Now, to get the actual amount, again, I said you really need to meet with, that's what I told you, I was like, you really got to meet with that retirement advocate.
Right.
So whoever that is that handles all the retirement paperwork, I was like, you need to get that name and number, we need to make an appointment, we need to sit down, and we need to hammer out what the number's going to be. So we did, and you talked to her.
And we talked to her and we found out exactly how much time I had in, okay? We concur with that. And, you know, we really had to stop and do the numbers because a lot of times no one want to stop and do the numbers. You just want to go about how many years you got in.
She verified with you, right? That was the whole point. Verified you worked here for however many years. This is your age. Is this correct birth date? Okay. And then she was like, all right, here's your number. Bam. She gave you the number.
Right.
You looked and I said, I told you that it was going to be less. And she's like, but she was like, this is the number if you take that amount and you don't want anything else. So then you had choices. So then there's choices you had to make.
Right.
After that, it was, do you want a little bit higher payout until you hit that 66? Because then at 66 and a half, you would begin to get Social Security.
Right.
So they anticipate that you won't need as much when you hit 66 because most people are going to apply for the Social Security and start pulling from it at 66 and a half for 100%.
Right.
So she was like, so we will pay you a little bit over to help you get over that little hump until you reach the age of Social Security. Once you reach that age of Social Security, your payment's going to be lower.
Right, absolutely.
And she was like, but remember, you're factoring in now Social Security, so hey, you really aren't, like she said, suffering, you still have money. So that was the first choice you had to make. The second one was the spousal fund. And the spousal fund, if you guys know, you look at your retirement amount and then you ask, well, in the event of my death, how much of that is my wife going to actually receive? Because as us wives know, you never received the total amount that he was receiving. Sometimes they take out a third. Sometimes, if you're lucky, it's only a fourth. Sometimes it's half of what he was receiving. And so in anticipation for that, Eric said, yeah, I'm older than you. In the event of me passing before you, I want to make sure that I don't leave you in financial debt, because then you're getting only half of what I was receiving. How would you keep the lifestyle, and the home and the everything that we have if you're getting less money? I don't want you to have to go to work at like 70 or 80. I don't want you to have to worry about money. So let's do the spousal fund. So what the spousal fund is there is a set amount that they deduct, and they put it aside so that when he passes, I would get a bulk check and then receive a little bit more every month.
Right.
Than the normal, like half, which that sucks, guys. And a lot of people, or you may choose and say, she's on her own, I'm dead.
Right.
We had a friend that said that, she's on her own, I'm dead, not putting anything aside, we need that money. So, I mean,
they might be single too.
True. But then you wouldn't even be considering, the lady wouldn't even tell you that. You said you're single.
Yeah.
We were clearly there and married, and she had the paperwork in front of her. She knew you were married. So there's that choice. Now, after you've made these two big decisions, then, as always, I say budget.
Right.
You know how I am about budgeting, because you always want to make sure you're putting into savings. Savings is just as important in retirement as it is while you're working, because you never know what might happen. You never know what surprise vacation you might want to take. You might want to splurge and do something. There's a million reasons for savings, and you might as well have some, because better to have than not to have.
That's
correct?
Right. That's
Especially
right.
now.
Especially now. So you always want to have that extra cash. Who knows? Somebody might hit you in your car, or you might run into somebody and hit somebody. And you know what? When you got insurance, there's always a deductible. So if you got money in the bank, you can reach back, have those emergency funds while you're yet still working, and continue to build those funds. But it's good to have those funds, because if you hit somebody, even if by mistake, and you got a deductible of $500 or even $250, you got to reach in your pocket and put that out before they fix your car and get you back on the road again. So that's something to think about in your monthly budget.
And your monthly budget also might include spousal or child support payments that you're currently making if you are divorced, because we do have a lot of viewers that have reached out and said they're divorced. They want to retire, but they're still paying spousal and child support, so they feel like they're never going to be able to retire. Well, I always say, if you're budgeting and you have a good budget, you know that they take that money before you get your check anyway. Right. So as you have made due in your weekly salary, you need to verify how much you're going to be getting in retirement, because it could surprise you and you could still retire.
Right.
But you still have to make those spousal and child support payments. So that should be implemented into your budget, because again, you don't want to overstrain yourself. Then you're living really subpar because you didn't plan well for it. You want to make sure that you can still save for an emergency, like you just said.
Absolutely. So this is something really to think about, because we did a video in the past, and it was entitled "Feeling Trapped" or "Feeling Strapped," or something to that effect. Yeah. Trapped. So that's a perfect example of feeling trapped, because you really want to retire when you get we call it in our union at Pier 82. Okay, that's what we call it. And I know some other companies, they call it something different, a different system. But for our union, that's what we call it. And some of you guys really can't stop working right now, because you know that you got child support. If that child ain't 18 yet, you still got to keep working, because you won't be able to make it on your own. If you get out, if you retire right now, you can be at the age and everything ready to retire right now, but you can't get out because you know you still got to pay for that child until that child's 18 years old.
Is it because you think that they're staying in the U.S.? Because I feel like if you came here and you lowered your bills to 1/3 of what you were paying before, you would be able to take care of that kid, retire, and still have savings.
Yeah, but that's if you want to relocate. But most of you guys ain't thinking about relocating. You don't want to do it. You ain't doing it. You ain't doing it. So you might deal with the situation as you is right now, because a lot of you ain't jumping on a plane. You ain't shipping nothing. You staying right there, and you're going to deal with all those taxes and everything else that you got to deal with. My choice was different, okay? My circumstance was different.
Yeah.
I hit the first plane I could get and got out of there. And I'm so glad that I did. Every day I wake up, I'm glad that I left the Matrix.
Yeah.
Because now I'm a free man.
Thinking outside the box. That's what it is.
Outside
I can't
the
stress
box,
that
baby.
enough. Think outside of the box. You have a problem, there's always a solution. Don't ever feel like there isn't, even with retirement. And I know some of you guys are going to get those numbers and you're going to be ecstatic, while others might feel like they just got gut punched by frickin' Mike Tyson on his prime. So that's why I say better to know than not to know. Have all these plans of grandeur in your head and then go there and find out none of that is possible because you didn't check ahead of time. You don't have enough money to survive on. You don't want to think out the box or venture out with that passport in your hand to a place like this.
Right.
And you know it's not possible in the U.S. So then you're back on the grind. You're sad. You're depressed because you're looking at another 5 to 10 years. It's like a prison sentence.
That's what it is. And you got to stay right there on that job and keep working and keep putting up with that bull you put up with every day on that job until your body gives up. And once your body gives up and you can't go another day, then you got to stop. Then you got to regroup and go find another job.
Yeah. So let me ask you, when the first option was given to you about getting a little bit more and then less at 65, what was your take on that?
My take on that is, why give Uncle Sam all that money when I could just live off what I have and budget it and be on a good budget, good plan every single month so I can save that money so when I reach 66 and a half, almost 70, I can cash in that money and get 100%.
So so I'm confused. So you're saying you said yes.
I said yes.
To the larger payout now.
To the larger payout now.
Okay.
Right, absolutely.
And also, if you know you're coming to a country like this, or, I mean, fill in the blank country, and you know you're going to be saving money, like it makes sense to that if it gets deleted or depleted lesser later, you've saved. Because you got that money early, you saved it in whatever investments or savings accounts or however, and you've made a little money on that money, so that when 65 comes, you're not hurting when you get less.
Right.
Because you planned.
And also, what's part of that plan is, if you're not doing it, you should have did it years ago. Either 401k or either profit sharing.
Yeah, but if you're at that age where you're sitting with the retirement specialist, it's too late.
It's too late, right.
And that was him. Because like we've said in other videos, because being totally transparent, he didn't take care of his business. you had profit sharing.
I did have profit sharing.
He had profit sharing, but no 401k, no anything else. And then I was like, you of all people need to know what you're having in Social Security. You need to know what it looks like in your retirement. You need to sit down with someone. Don't take someone's word at work that told you, because everyone is a different situation. You guys have paid in differently, you've worked differently. And I was like, and there's other decisions. So that was the first decision you made. You said, yeah, I want the bigger payout now. I'll take less at 65. And on top of that, you did do the spousal fund. Why did you do the spousal fund?
Because I don't want you to be struggling with nothing if anything ever happened to me.
Yeah, because as much as a lot of you little what I call typewriter gangsters try to say that I tell him what to do, he made those decisions. That was not my retirement fund. I sat there quiet, didn't I? I said just explain everything to him step by step. And she explained. She was very nice. She was very knowledgeable. She explained everything. And when she got to the spousal, I can't say anything anyway because it's your account. She said you have to give the okay and sign for everything.
Right.
And she said, what do you want to do? And you were like, give it to her.
Yep. Because you don't want to see your spouse sit here, not a dime, not being able to make it while you long gone somewhere. So that's what it's all about. If you're married, okay, or you have a spouse, or even if you have a girlfriend or whatever.
And you're going to get married.
Or you're going to get married.
You have to be married to do that spousal.
Right. You have to be married. Or because if you wait until you get down there and do the paperwork and come to find out that there was a clause in there somewhere. Now that's holding up all your paperwork, because this happened to a buddy of mine. It held up all his paperwork because evidently his spouse must have said something to reference.
They were divorced, right?
They were divorced, but she wanted, some
she had filed.
She had filed, and he forgot about it, or then he was saying she didn't file. So it's a big mix-up, and I'm going to tell you something. They will hold back your check until they get it all straightened out.
Yes.
They don't mind holding back. This is the hard part. They will hold back your check, have you sitting, you done got off the truck or whatever you driving, and you sitting home, and you waiting to get your first retirement check, and you ain't got it yet.
Right. But you know what? That's why I love that lady so much, because she literally said, she was like, so you need to plan in case, remember she said there was a little snafu and you didn't get your check on the month that you were expected to get it. She goes, so do you have vacation time? Do you have sick time? Do you have money saved? So that, remember, she said you're getting a check every week until you receive that first monthly check of retirement.
Right, absolutely. And I'm glad that we went down there and we really had a good plan.
Yeah.
But I was so glad that I did the profit sharing thing. I was so happy because that was a big lump sum. It helped me pay off a lot of those small little bills, and I was able to plan everything, dates, times, and everything. Had vacation time, had paid personal time,
Yeah.
and everything worked out lovely.
Yeah, it did. It was perfect timing. But also remember that taxes, the tax man cometh.
He's coming.
And he cometh for your throat. And he don't give up. So, taxes have to be taken out of retirement payments because they were taken out previously before taxes. So, y'all look at your W-2s every week. You know that before you get that take-home pay, before you've paid SSI and Medicaid, the Medicare or whatever taxes, that they take out your retirement before it is taxed. So it's not part of your taxable income, meaning that when you start receiving those retirement payments, Uncle Sam's waiting.
Yes, he is. He's
So when
waiting
it's
on
time to file taxes, if you make under a certain threshold, and I tell you guys, like it said in the Social Security video, the SSI website is literally your best friend. It gives you all the information and the tools you need for retirement. You ask it a question, it has an answer. It knows because they're the ones after your money. So they definitely cover how much and what the threshold is for a single or a couple, what range you're in with your retirement money, and how much they're going to come for. Because if you make a certain amount, they only come for half of that amount. If you make a little bit more, they come for 85% of that amount. So you got to see where you fall into with your retirement payments, because remember, even if you are expat living, moving out of the country, say you're coming to the DR, because I'm using DR because we're here, you still have 330 days where you got to have boots on the ground here to use that exemption, to get the overseas exemption, to get that money tax-free. So you got to go to the SSI website, because remember, the tax man come, he don't play, and he wants that money.
It's all about how you educate yourself, because like I always say on the channel, you cannot work forever. If you do, you just continue to break your body down, longer hours. I don't care how much overtime you put in.
Yeah.
You got to have a plan of attack.
Yes.
So when you get ready to retire, you can retire well. We're not sitting here telling you that you got to retire with $1 million, because that's not going to happen unless you hit the lottery or something like that.
I mean, I wish.
So, yeah, I wish too. I wish too. It ain't happening. You know, shut up. It ain't happening. My mother always told me talk is cheap. It takes money
I
to
would
buy
have somebody
land.
fanning me and another one passing me daiquiris while we had these YouTube videos. No, we did not retire with $1 million. But
Shoot.
it's how you use what you have, because you can live like you have $1 million if you're budgeting,
Right.
if you're being good with your money, or being a good steward of your money, and you're still living a very comfortable, very nice lifestyle. Like, I think we live way under what we really could live.
Right, absolutely.
But I do it because then when we want to do something fancy, or then when we want to take a vacation, or if I want to buy something, I go, yeah, we can do it. And you go, okay, do we have it? And I go, of course we do. Dear, get whatever you want.
Oh, better things are coming in the future. So
There you go.
it's always good to stack up some eggs. You never know which ones you're going to need. And I tell you what, this video here is very, very important for you to check out your own life.
Yes.
Find out how you're looking. If you can't do it by yourself, get somebody to help you, okay? And like she said, the SSI website is
Yes.
there for your convenience, so you look over at it, because you are not, as long as you live in the United States, you will not graduate from Uncle Sam's taxes.
Yeah, and that's literally why those people get paid. Like, that woman's job was to make sure you guys were informed, retired, all your paperwork went in smoothly, and you were knowledgeable. That's her job. That's what she gets paid for. A lot of the unions have them. A lot of the financial institutions have them. So if you're paying for all of this, you might as well take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and while you're budgeting, while you're thinking about your big budget that you're going to have to do for the tax and everything else, you want to tack on your health insurance too. Your health
That's part of your
insurance,
budget, yeah.
tack on that health insurance,
Yeah.
because if you take the Teamsters health insurance that they're offering you, I tell you what, you'll be eating beans and franks and ramen noodles for the rest of your life. I'm telling you.
it's literally the
I'm
amount
telling you.
of a very nice Mercedes or BMW payment, and without the car. So
Think about that for a few moments.
we will have another video coming up soon on medical insurance, because we haven't done one in a while. I just realized that the one that we kind of did was older and on the other channel. So we're going to be doing one of those too.
So, in the meantime, between the time, always remember, life is to be enjoyed.
Yes, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And hello and thank you to all our new subscribers. Welcome, welcome. You're part of the Caribbean family now. Make sure to hit notifications so that you can get notifications on videos like this and other gems that we will be dropping this month, coming up in September for sure. Make sure to hit that like, because it's the free and easy way to patron the channel. As always, all of our information is right underneath the video on how to get a hold of us and how to patron the channel. And thank you to all the people that have patroned.
Right.
Whether it was through Patreon or whether it was through the lives. And continue to look out for our lives every 2 weeks, every Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So until
That was
next,
a lot.
you better believe it. So until the next video, handle your business,
Yes.
because it's going to be there waiting on you. Peace.